Alright guys, Criminal here. In this one, I'm gonna be talking about the biggest systematic flaws this game has, gameplay issues that I think require the most urgent fixing. And yeah, let's just get right into it. Number one is poke changes. I think a lot of poke changes are necessary. Pokes are way too good in this game right now. Way too good. So let's just get right into it. Number one thing I would do is standardize them. What I mean is, you've got characters, for example, Johnny, with a standard on one, I would say, right? Around this range, right? Something like this. This is the range pretty much. And then you've got someone like Giras, which is why I picked him, who has like the worst down one in the game. Zero range on it. Terrible. And the issue with that comes, the issue that comes with that is, the only way to punish pokes in this game is actually by pokes, believe it or not. I know it's kind of like stupid because it is, but that's the only way you can punish pokes. For example, if I put him on reversaling with a down one, look at the issue that comes for Gears. Right, I do a poke on him. You see, it doesn't even fucking reach me. Which means he can't punish pokes. As simple as that. He can't punish pokes. He can't. He actually just can't. I punish him for him trying to punish a move he can punish. So, this is why this character struggles a lot, because in some matchups you really need the poke punish, because characters just poke mash the shit out of you. And that is why the issue exists. Poke mashing is such a big issue in this game. Because pokes are not standardized. You've got someone like Giras with a poke so bad it's not even funny, and someone like Sub-Zero with a poke that reaches full screen. Sub-Zero's down one reaches from like this range, I'm not joking. He has a ridiculously overpowered down one. Melina's down one is the same story, like it's just a shit ton of range on them for no apparent reason. So yeah, you've got characters who can just spam them very easily, and some are just hitting ducks, like Giras. And believe it or not, Homelander. You just never notice it because Homelander is never blocking, because it's built different. So that's the number one thing. To make this game much more fair, I would just make it so all pokes are standardized as far as range and hitboxes go. All of them have the same range, so Giras doesn't need to struggle with this nonsense, because that makes him terrible. Terrible when he's getting hit. You need very good defense with this character, because you can't even take your turn back. You need to go for a down 3 or a down 4, which are much slower, like, as normally. They are just much slower as a result. So yeah, that is just fucking dumb. Next thing I would do about pokes. Actually, I need to mention a few more things. Why I think this is such a big issue is, keep in mind, pokes in this game, they are almost foolproof, because the only way to punish a poke is a poke, as I've said. Like, you need a down one to punish a down one. It's not possible to punish them otherwise. And the crouching animation begins frame 1. What this means is, everything I do that is -6 and lower is actually, Johnny is a good example of doing this frame data bullshit, so I just picked him. This is -6, for example. If he tries to punish me with a high, that is 7 frames, meaning pretty much he's standing 1, 7 frame high, right? I can neutral duck in frame 1 and poke mash, even after something that is 6 frames, right? That's not a good example. Let me just do something like this. You see, I'm -6 here. You can look at the frame rate on the left side of the screen. I'm -6. I can still duck under it and even get a full punish with a micro duck. Now, micro ducks are a good play. They are a skillful play. They have risk. Like, if the Giras just does this, right? Let's say he does something like this. You see, that's not a good example, but pretty much, if I, as the Giras, go for a reversal with a mid, the micro duck will get catched. You'll get caught for trying to micro duck. You see, right? You can do it. So yeah, micro ducks have a risk to them, but pokes don't. Most characters in this game don't have the fast mids Johnny has. Johnny has a 9 frame mid, which means his offense is pretty much guaranteed. There's no gaps in his offense. But most have gaps in their offense because their mids are too slow. Which means poke spamming is a massive issue. Giras also has a pretty fast mid, so he's not it doesn't suffer as much from this, but characters that don't have the fast mids just need to do a standing 1, right? Or a poke themselves. And then they're just prone to poke mashing it every single time. Now, Johnny, for example, I picked him also because of that, because he also has insanely plus moves, right? This is +7, for example, so this jails into a standing 1. If he tries to press anything, I can just catch him. In the corner at least, because it has a lot of pushback. But let's go for something like this, for example, +4, right? I am still prone to poke mashing when I'm +4. Johnny is not, because Johnny can jail this into his 9 frame mid. He jails. That is why Johnny is so strong and why I picked him as well, because to show what a character designed to deal with this, why he's instantly top tier. That is why, because the Uno reverse card of this game is just poke spamming, and Johnny is immune to that pretty much, which is why he's so strong since the game launched. But you can see now we will reverse him with a down 1, which Gears shouldn't do because they have a terrible down 1. But if I go for a high, which is what most characters do after a plus move, I can get poke spammed, which means even when I'm plus, I need to go for a poke myself to actually keep my offense going. Unless I'm Johnny Cage, right? So Johnny can just do this shit, right? And then you can do what you want to do, which is spam pokes, like you would with every character. But for every other character, it doesn't have 9 frame mid, which is the rest of the roster. Nobody has mids this fast, only Johnny has this. Everything like this, +4, +5, all of this is meaningless, because you can just get poke spam. So yeah, this is why I believe pokes should be standardized, so to make the game much more fair for others. So you've got every matchup, a character can punish a poke with a poke. So that's number 1, standardize all the pokes. Number 2 about the pokes, what I would do is also remove pushback. So this shit doesn't happen for Gears. I would remove pushback as a whole to just make it much more easy to like punish them with a standing 1. Like you can get close to them even with a slower mid with less range. If you remove the pushback, I can just do the forward 1 with Gears, but from this range I'm pretty sure it whiffs, because his forward 1 is terrible range. Right, you can see I'm doing this, it doesn't whiff, but from its down 4 for example, it whiffs, right? You can't steal his turn back from this, because he whiffs. So yeah, what I would do is just remove pushback altogether. The fact that there is pushback on pokes makes pokes with good range, like Havoc's down 4 that has obscene range, and Reiko's down 4 that is fucking cracked, frame data wise, range wise, everything wise. His poking game is the best in the game most likely, either his or Sub-Zero's. Probably Reiko's is just cracked. What happens with Reiko is his down 4 is such good range and so much pushback, you can just spam it and loop it over and over, and there's no way to actually get close to him to punish him in time. Or even to steal your turn back, not even punish him, steal your turn, it's impossible. So yeah, remove pushback as well, that's the second thing. Third thing I would do, remove special cancelling when they are blocked. This is one of the dumbest things in this entire game, and to really portray that I'm gonna switch a cameo, I'm gonna switch characters, so I'll be right back. Alright, the change I'm gonna discuss, these two are the biggest culprits of it, so I'm pretty sure you already know what I'm gonna talk about. Which is this bullshit that existed since day 1 in the game. This is one of the biggest gameplay issues in this game as a whole, because pokes also being special cancelable, while the only way to punish them is another poke. What that means is, pretty much, you need to guess every single time. When you are the aggressor, when you are plus on block, you need to guess. Which is so fucking stupid as a whole, because you combine this bullshit with cameos, mainly a safety cameo, which is Kano. And what you've got is shit like this. He is plus now. So you steal back your turn for free from a move you can spam at any time, and there is zero risk to doing it. Because, again, unless you're against Johnny Cage, you can just poke spam at every single moment of the game. And the offense is fake in this game, unfortunately. So, what that means is, you can just poke spam. Almost 99% of the time, you can just randomly press a poke. And the only risk you're facing is getting hit by a poke yourself. Which is very, very, very meaningless. So what that means is characters like Baraka and Raiden can just steal their turn back for free at any moment. Like this shit, for example. 2-1-2 with Baraka is 0. What I can do is just do this. And look at the chip damage. Raiden has the passive that makes him take less chip damage, but look at the chip damage you're taking. And the thing I need to do to avoid this is flawless block him. And even when I flawless block him, I actually still can take my turn back. He takes his turn back for free. So yeah, I don't need to stress to like blabber on about this shit, why it needs to be removed. I think all of us know it already. Because if you played them in this game when it launched, you know these two were the top 2 in the game. And this was the main shit that made them broken. Because this is also full combos, keep that in mind. It's full combos. Full combos. You get hit by this, it's a full combo. So not only are you getting disrespected when it's supposed to be your turn to attack frame data wise, you getting disrespected, your opponent just randomly smashes their face on the controller to mash her down 1, which is the most brain dead play you can do in this game. And they also get a combo from this, which is just the dumbest thing ever. He gets a combo, if it has the EX, full combo. Full combo. So this is fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Since day one, this was annoying as fuck. This catches everybody. Pro players, bad players, it does not matter who you are. You got caught by this at some point. Everybody did. Because there is no counterplay to this nonsense. Because it's not supposed to happen. You know your plus, you want to continue with your offense, and you can't. You literally can't. This is what this shit means. And I chose these two because they're the biggest culprits of this nonsense being in the game. And keep in mind, this game is almost a year and a half old, and these fuckers have been doing this since day one. And it didn't get touched. This was the biggest issue about them, aside from them doing game-breaking damage. And that didn't get nerfed. They nerfed other things that didn't even need touching. So yeah, great balancing team. They're terrible. Shitty balancing team. Fire everybody immediately. Anyways, this shit has been in the game since day one, and they are the biggest culprits. But keep in mind, almost every character can do this. Homelander is even a bigger culprit of this than them right now, because he can do this, cancel into his float, and he gets an instant over that you can't react to. So he gets a 50-50 for spamming pokes. And that's a character that already never needs to block, because he's just beyond broken. And he has a safe armor with his best cameo, which was planned by 100%. You know what, instead of just discriminate, let me switch to Homelander. One sec. Alright, viewer, Homelander viewer. If you haven't been playing this game, which I don't blame you, it can get annoying at times. It's fun, but it's annoying as well. This guy's the best character in the game for 6 months, something like that. Great balancing team, again, just don't know how to balance the game. So what this guy does a lot, which is pretty much the main way he plays the game, is just fucking poke mash like a motherfucker, and then cancel it either into this, or into this. Which means he gets a 50-50 for existing after spamming a poke. So yeah, this is where this shit needs to go. You see where it needs to go? If he couldn't special cancel when I blocked his poke, he couldn't do this. He couldn't do this because it's considered a special move. He couldn't do anything. Which means if I block your poke, you get hit by a poke, and then I am plus, which is the only good thing about pokes in this game. They're actually plus 12, which means they jail into offense. You don't need to be a godly mid character to actually take your turn back after a poke. If you get a down one hit on somebody, you get your turn on offense. Guaranteed, because it's plus 12. So you can just walk up to them and press something and it will jail. So you can't actually spam random shit like you can 99% of the time. But because you can't, that means if he tries to reversal after blocking a poke, which is the logical thing to do, right? He tries to reversal with a down one to get his turn back, right? So if he blocked my poke, he does a poke on his own, which should be a punish if I record it fast enough. But because it's special cancelable, Homelander can do this. And even float under your own poke and kill you. Is this balanced? The answer is no. He flies over your poke, gets a free priority, and then you're fucked because you're dealing with the best mix-up in the game. So yeah, this is very balanced. Come on, even if you try and punish with a poke, the grab will still get you because it's so game-breakingly fast. Simon, this is the Homelander situation. Poke, I don't need to blabber on about this more. Poke special cancelling needs to go. So that's the 3 changes I would make to pokes. Remove pushback, make them all the same, frame data wise, range wise, hitbox wise, everything. Standardize them. And remove all pushbacks from all the pokes, down 3s and down 4s included. And remove special cancelling when they are done on block. What that means is, boom, pokes are balanced. Which is something we needed since the game launched, because pokes have been the most toxic thing about this game's gameplay since launch, aside from Homelander. So I mean, this is literally all it takes for pokes. And by the way, I wanted to keep poke special cancelling on hit because pokes are actually combo extenders for some characters. Some routes require a down 1 in perfect timing. For example, Gira's conversion from forward 3. So you need pokes being special cancelable on hit. And that's not an issue. If you want to do this, I don't mind. It's a dumbass play anyway because it doesn't even fucking combo. So yeah, I don't give a shit if people do that. So yeah, this is what you do for pokes. Let's move on. Final 2 things I want to talk about are armor combos and grab combos. Of course, I got the 2 biggest culprits of each. Kung Lao, not as viable right now because I also want to mention safe armors, and his, thank the lords, is finally no longer safe. After a year and a half, they remembered to patch that brain dead strat, and it's still pretty viable because his armor is still broken. Anyways, grab combos. Let's start with the biggest culprit in the meta right now because Scorpion is the top tier and he has that shit, which is this. Yeah, this shit. This exact shit you just saw. This crap. Yeah, what happens with Scorpion? Why is this so powerful on Scorpion? Number one is grab combos do too much fucking damage. Like every other character, you get 30% damage grabs, which is fucking ridiculous. I don't know why grabs need to do this much damage. Which is why another reason why I think grab combos should be removed, because grabbing is already a 50-50 in itself. And in this game, getting hit by a back throw means you are taking 25-30% damage, which is fucking ridiculous. It's almost the same as a combo. Why is this so strong on Scorpion? Scorpion, after his spear, does this, and then he either has the Pharah 50-50, a dash up mid, which is the shimmy, or a dash up grab. And his mid is already crazy. It's a 12 frame mid that starts combos, so this is an insane shimmy. This right here. I either do this, like do this, dash up to them and do a mid, or just do a grab. It's a guessing game. They will think a grab's gonna come and the mid is gonna gut check them. They think a mid is gonna come and they're just gonna get grabbed when they're blocking. So yeah, man, this shit is fucking stupid. It's fucking ridiculous. I don't need to mention this too much. Scorpion is a top tier simply because of this shimmy game. This mid in his throw. It's ridiculous. Another top tier who has this is Ermac. Ermac is like a number 8, number 9 character in the game level shit. Something like that. And his grab combo with Janet is also one of the main reasons why he's so strong, because he shimmies you to hell. If you don't know what a shimmy means, shimmy just means catching the opponent thinking you're going to do something else. So I dash up to him, he thinks I'm gonna grab, I do this. That's a shimmy. And he gets hit. That is a shimmy. So, yeah, why should this be removed? Very simple. The best cameo in the game right now is the 50-50 machine. For existing, you have 50-50s. You've already got some characters with very good mix-ups in this game. Homelander with his unreactable 50-50s. Scorpion with his insane shimmies, like with the mid into the grab or whatever. You've got insane shimmy characters with just very good grab mix-ups altogether. So, what is the logic behind making the grab as rewarding as the mid? That just makes the shimmy game so broken in this game. That is why Scorpion is so unfair. That's really why Scorpion is so broken. It really is just broken because of this. This shimmy game is crazy. I did 32 from that. I do the same damage from a grab. I do like 30% from a grab as well. So if you get caught by my grab, it's pretty much the same as getting caught by the mid. So the shimmy game becomes insanely scary. And pair that up along with the fact that you getting a grab in this game also means you're getting pressure. Because I get a grab with Scorpion, that means I also get pressure. I get my combo from the grab. I do this, whatever route I wanna use, end with the spear, and I got pressure now. I get pressure, you are minus, for not taking a grab, which is already a 50-50 systematically. This is fucking broken. It's completely broken, which is why I think this should be removed, because reward from grabs in this game make some characters so overpowered it's not even funny. Scorpion without grab combos goes to like, not even top 10, without grab combos, even though he has broken synergy with Pharah. Still, without grab combos, he's not even a shadow of himself. But grab combos mean this guy has access to his 50-50s from everything, because a grab will lead to it, any stray hit will lead to it, everything will lead to it. So this guy is game breaking. He's insanely good, he's top 5 level just because of that. So why this should just be removed altogether. How I would do it is just make it so you cannot summon a cameo, you can't use an ambush cameo until the recovery animation of a grab is finished. Meaning, until I can actually jump in neutral, I can summon a cameo. You do that, there are no more grab combos possible in this game. And this is much more balanced, because if I get hit by a grab, it's just like in the prior titles. You get hit by a grab, you're back to neutral, and you take 100 or 110 damage, which is not that bad. Like, it's 10% of my HP, it's not that meaningful. But losing 30% of your HP, and needing to block a character with unreactable 50-50s, for getting hit by a grab, is fucking stupid. So remove grab combos, completely. Stupid since day one, extremely toxic and cancerous. And if you notice, every single broken top tier in this game has a grab combo. Except for Sindel. Almost everybody with a grab combo in this game are top tiers. Because any grab combo just changes the way the game works. Because grab combos just instantly make you a terrifying mix-up character. Because grabs are overpowered in this game. So yeah, this is the next thing, remove grab combos. Final thing I want to mention is armor changes. Number one is removal of safe armor that can be used by this. This is a much less of an issue than it was because this used to be safe on block in general, which was fucking ridiculous. Thank God it's gone. It's still not minus enough. Minus 15 is not that massive. And what happened is this entire animation, the punch into kick would play on block, which means this would jail into a Goro. Which means you are now plus 16 for pressing a random armor. Which made this guy ridiculous. It made Tanya the best character in the game. Because her armor is even more stupid. It was 4 hits, which means you had all the time in the world to jail into a Goro, to like run away with a Motaro, do whatever you want. So armors can't be brained. Armor, as it's intended to work, is a reversal tool, a get-up tool. You use this as a double-edged sword. If you guess right, and your opponent goes for something and you armor through it, you are back to neutral, you're away from pressure. They can't continue pressure on you anymore, you're back to neutral. If armor combos didn't exist, after getting an armor, this is what would happen. We're in neutral. Back to neutral again. This is how it's supposed to work. You do the armor for 1 bar, you armor through your opponent's attack, you escape their pressure, and you're back to neutral, it's nobody's turn. But because armor combos exist, and keeping armor safe with cameos exists, what happens is, you have armor that is risk-free, and starts combos, and leads to pressure. For example, this shit that has been in the game since day 1. Very easy combo, not even hard. I don't play this character ever and I can still do it after like 3 tries. I do 30% damage and I have Oki. It's fucking stupid. It's completely dumb. Because this is a tool there's no counterplay to. This used to be completely impossible to counterplay. Keep that in mind, because this used to be safe. Now, this is not as big of an issue as it was, but you still had characters with safe armors. This one can be safe a lot of the time. Baraka with Kano can keep himself safe. Homelander with Farah can stay safe because she can catch him mid-air. And then you've got the Farah 50-50 from your opponent spamming an armor, which is dumb as fuck. And even this can still be kept safe with a Goro, like this. Punishing this is not very easy, right? If I have a scope and put him on reversaling, right? And he will do this as a reversal. So he will block, do this. Come on, he can probably still make this shit. Not like this, right, with the Goro, right? So when making I do this, you see, you can still keep yourself safe, right? I block his armor. He's still safe. I need to neutral duck it, to neutral duck the Goro to avoid getting hit, and he's not punishable until I finish the neutral duck. Because until Goro's gone, he's no longer punishable. Right? This is not the greatest example, I'm pretty sure it is punishable now, because it got nerfed. So yeah, this shit is dumb. Kung Lao is not the greatest example anymore, because thank the lords it was removed, but Homelander is a great example, because he can keep his armor pretty much safe with the Farah. Who else can we think about? Baraka with Kano. In neutral, you can just use the Kano knives or Kano ball, or just throw out a random armor and keep it safe with a cameo. So yeah, what I would do to just fix this is number one, remove armor combos, so they are not as rewarding as they are right now, because it's fucking stupid. It's too much damage. There's no reason for you to get your turn back for spamming armor and block, which is the most branded play ever. And yeah, there's also the fact that armor in this game should not be safe, no matter who you do it. I think every armor in this game should be minus 30 or something like that, around minus 30. This is minus 19, not enough. I think every armor should be like minus 30, pretty much, and just do the same thing I said to do with grabs. Until the recovery animation of the armor is finished, I cannot summon an ambush cameo, which would remove armor combos, it would remove safe armors, it would just make this game much more fun to play. Because now armor is not as abusable, and you've got characters. The biggest issue with armor is you've got characters with gaps and characters with no gaps. Johnny Cage has gapless offense, pretty much. None of his shit has gaps, because his mid jails into pretty much all of his buttons jail into his mid, which means his offense is not prone to armoring. But someone else, like, I don't know, Kenshi, is insanely weak against armor. Ridiculously weak against armor. You know why that is the case? Because he has gaps in Cento. Cento 2 has a gap in it. The 2 hits, it has a gap. Which means the enemy can just spam an armor, and if they have a character with safe armor, or a way to keep the armor safe, they're away from pressure. For example, Liu Kang can keep his armor safe now, with Motaro. Yeah, he does the triple kick, you do the Motaro teleport, you run away. Very easy, you're back to neutral for spamming shit. And yeah, very easy to do. So, I would remove both of these things, and it just makes the game much more skill heavy. Like, this shit takes no skill, it takes no brain. This shit takes no brain, everybody can do this crap. It's easy as hell. And this is why these two characters are like top 5 most toxic characters in the entire game. And this speaks volumes when you've got characters as broken as Homelander and Havoc. So yeah, this is the final 2 changes that will make system changes. And final change I want to mention, which is obvious as fuck, nerf Homelander and nerf Farah. I don't need to go into detail about this. These two have been the best cameo and the best character in the game for 6 months. Enough is enough, nerf them to hell, I want them to be not viable anymore. She should be the worst cameo in the game, Homelander should be removed from the game altogether. Like, I would give him so much nerfs, the guy would just never see the light of day again in a tournament. Because this is ridiculous. Mortal Kombat's getting a shit ton of slander, because Homelander is literally the only thing you see. There was a tournament recently and the top 8 had 5 Homelanders. It's fucking ridiculous. Enough is enough, nerf her, nerf Homelander. Thank you for watching, guys. Let me know if you agree with what I've mentioned in this video, and I'll see you in the next one.